Hey guys, what's up? Fur Daddy here. I'm coming at you with a bit of a compilation video with some new information in it as well. That's going to be 5 ways to make just like an absolutely stupid amount of money with Endwalker. All these methods give you ridiculous amounts of money, and they're all definitely worth doing. It's just about which one you feel like doing, because they're all like stupid good money makers and can make you millions and millions of gil. So the front half of this video has ones that don't require any crafting at all, and then the back half I have some crafting and gathering stuff that isn't the traditional just like make stuff that people want and put it on the market board. So hopefully this will be a illuminating video for you. I am making this video on my Twitch, so go check that out in the description. And yeah, so let's get into the video. So the first method that I have here is treasure maps. I know I bring up maps all the time, and I know that 6.05 isn't even out, which is going to introduce an entire new set of gear on Tuesday. So if you're watching this on Tuesday, this is even more viable of a moneymaker. But right now, it's a really good moneymaker because people are undervaluing the maps. So you can actually still get some really good items from the maps, and I'll show you an example here. So one of the items that you can actually get from the treasure maps as it stands is the pixie wings. And this isn't portals or any dungeons or anything like that. And as you can see, the price for these is absolutely stupid. And they do sell at a pretty regular rate, like 3 or 4 a day, for really high amounts. Like look at these ones selling for 35 mil. So if you catch it when the market's dry, I saw some on Crystal going for like 30 mil. Obviously this video might change that a little bit. And so I had a friend who ran these maps, and out of the 12 maps that they ran, they got 3 pixie wings. So they're not completely rare. Now I also did like about a dozen maps and I didn't get any. So maybe draw the number between those two. But yeah, this is an easy way to get, 12 mil to 30 mil depending on your data center. And doing 9 maps is super easy. So obviously, you can buy the maps on the market board. And the name of these maps, I'll try to spell it right here, is the Kumbhira skin maps here. And these are super cheap. Like they're even cheaper than the other maps. They're like 20K, so I've seen them go as low as 15K. But I'll also show you where to gather them yourself if you have your gatherers leveled up. You can get the maps from these nodes in Zone 6, these ones here, if you have your gathering leveled up. As you can see, I literally just got one. And the mining spot is just right here in Ultima Thule as well, and that's how you get both of the maps. Now, there's no portals or anything with these maps as of right now. On Tuesday there will be, and I'll be making a whole video about treasure maps at that point because I just love maps. But yeah, so right now the way you make money from these is just getting the pixie wings and putting that on the market board. But there will be, of course, more ways to make money with this. And just decipher the map, look for the location, and go to it. You don't need a full party to do this at all. You can easily do this with 2 or 3 people. So you don't even need to split the money all the way because there's not going to be any portals. All right, so on to the next method. So this second method is really straightforward, and it's just doing hunts. Right now, from killing the S ranks and the A ranks from the hunts, you get an item called Cracked Antho Clusters, and using those, you can exchange them for Materia 10. And all of the Materia 10, like the combat Materia 10 right now, is going for a huge amount of money. So just by doing hunts, you can get those. You're also able to spend the nuts on more materia. So if there's a specific type that is expensive, you can buy it with nuts as well. So that's a really good way to also make gil, and that's pretty quick. And as for where to unlock the hunts, you just go right here in Charlian and talk to them as long as you've done the prerequisite quests. I've linked in the description the full hunt quest chain because I've went over that in too many videos. But yeah, hunts are always a great way to make money, and it's also a great way to get aphorism tomes to cap on your best in slot gear right now. So those are definitely worth it. So I'm just putting this next method into the video because I mentioned it in my other video, but in case you haven't seen that one, Bicolored Gemstones from Fate Farming is still a ridiculously good way to make money. You can either make money just by doing that or by crafting the items into their requisite components, like the hide into the leather, or the Lunatender blossoms and moose flesh into the moon gel. So if you do that as well, that's a way to level your crafters. I've put the link to the description going over the Bicolored Gemstones completely in the description as well, so you can check it out there. So this last one is probably the most lengthy and the most difficult, but it also has the potential to make you the most money. So not everybody knows about this, but when you have reached a maximum of 100% spirit bond with your gear, you're able to extract materia from it that's equivalent to the item level of the gear. So for example, if you level up your gatherer's gear, the Arcean Velvet gear, you're able to extract materia from that and you can make a lot of gil doing that. So like, for example, let me show you some market board prices. So yeah, let's take a look at some of this materia. If we take a look at the gathering materia 10, we can see that's 87k. The materia 9 is 35k, and that's just one type. So like, I mean, look at this. This is ridiculous, and it's in demand as well. So the best part is this gatherer. So like from one set, I got 5 of the 9, another 2 of the 9, and then 2 of the 10s, and that's just luck based on what you get. But this is easily like 750k to a mil just from getting my gear melded. Now, I'm going to go over some tips on how to spirit bond faster, as well as some melds that you need and a general tip. So the first one's going to be for gathering. I'll go over the way to meld your gathering gear really quickly. All right, so the first thing you're going to want is there's some stats that you need. So you need 2990 perception on your gear, and you also need 3295 gathering. And the reason why you need this is because the gathering stat will require you to get an extra gathering attempt, and the perception is needed to just harvest the material in the first place. So with that in hand, you also need your gear pentamelded. Now don't worry, because there's a very cheap way to do this that most people don't know. So I have a lot of my gatherer's gear. You will have to overmeld for these stats, but for the things that you don't need to meld for example, my rings here, you can see that I've just melded like Quick Tongue and Heaven's Eye materia. Now this is because it's really cheap to do so. Like, you can get this materia for dirt cheap, and the more melds you have on a piece of gear, the faster it spirit bonds. So let me show you exactly why we have to do all this work. I have also provided a link in the description to an Ash 10 video that goes over how to do this really efficiently. If you guys want more details about it and how to meld it perhaps more efficiently. So yeah, let me show you why we do this and how quickly we can get this spirit bond. So once we see the node pop on the Time Nodes website, which I have a link for in the description, and if you've watched my gathering video I uploaded recently, there's information about that as well. We can see what popped. So for example, we can see that there is a level 90 legendary rocky outcrop, and we're gonna want our 900 GP for this. And I'll show you just exactly how this works. So as you can see, my spirit bond is basically 0 right now on this stuff down here, and we'll see how much I get. And keep in mind, a full spirit bond set is like a mil, right? So if we go to this node, so because we have the 3295 gathering yield, we can see there we get the extra gathering attempt. Now you could get 3401 for the gatherer's boon, but that's not necessary for this method. So yeah, basically we can just go, and once we harvest it a couple of times, we can start to do our solid reasoning. And that can also proc Wise to the World. So see how we get even more attempts? And that is the maximum we're gonna get out of this rock. And that's why we need the 900 GP. Because the more you harvest a node for, the more spirit bond you get. So let's take a look at how much I got from that. 10%, 15%, 30%. Isn't that crazy? So you can max out your spirit bond with just 3 nodes. So by following the Time Nodes website, you'll be able to do this. Now, to unlock these nodes, all right, so you are able to go to the script exchange person here. Or no, sorry, not the script exchange person. Keep on moving. The Splendor's vendor here, and you can spend your gathering tomes on these fieldcraft items. See here? The tomes of geological folklore. And you want to pick up all these. Now, these require quite a huge amount of gathering tomes, but if you just do the other time nodes for the gathering ones, the like levels 80 to 90 ones, you'll get these plenty, or you can do your custom deliveries to unlock those. And once you have those unlocked, you should be able to do this method and just get a ridiculous amount of spirit bond. When that's complete, all you have to do is extract the materia from the spirit bonded gear, and then you will get, yeah, that's a free mill. Now you can also do this for crafting, and I'll go over that now. So the same principle applies to crafting. Now there's no really cheesy way for getting the spirit bond to go up incredibly fast, unless you do the, have this hit pentamelded like I've shown here. And as you can see, I have even less stuff melded. It's all just the critical hit and stuff like that. See? I forgot to add this when I was recording the video, but you can also purchase spirit bond potions, as well as have your FC execute an action or use the squadron equivalent at your grand company to boost your spirit bond. So those spirit bond potions are very useful for boosting that as well, and make sure you use those in addition to both these methods. Yeah, and you also want to make sure your primary and secondary tool, I don't have my primary right now, is the crafted stuff as well for the extra spirit bond. Now this makes you a huge amount of money as well, because when these are all finished, you can pull all the crafting materia out of that and sell that as well. And this will continue to make money, especially when 6.05 drops. So you can either quick synth gear, or you can make collectibles to turn in. Basically, this comes down to make sure you're pentamelded, and you don't have to be pentamelded with like all crafting gear as well, which I think is the useful information here. And Jenna and in our Discord dropped that piece of information, so shout out to them. It's really helpful, and that's a very, very cheap way to do this. So that is another great way to make money, and I'm just going to go over the final way right now, and it's a bit of a no-brainer. Now, this last method might seem like a bit of a cop-out, but you'd be surprised how many people level their gatherers up and just don't even use it. My last suggestion for crafters and gatherers is to like literally just use your crafters and gatherers. So, for example, you can harvest the RC and cotton at a huge quantity from these nodes. So we can do something like this. If you get the gathering boon node, you can increase the yield you get from it, things like that. And you can get just like a huge amount of these materials. You can get like, if you play it smart, you can maybe get 50 or 60 from a couple of nodes if you have the right benefits on them and the right stats. So that's definitely worth doing. And then you can just quick synth them into the requisite material, which helps you get the spirit bond to extract the materia. So this kind of goes into the last method as well. And you can sell these for a huge amount of money still, depending on what server you're on. I know the Scarlet Moko cloth for me goes for a huge amount. And you still get, as you can see, you still get Spirit Bond from doing this method, even though it's a little slower. So if you're just kind of vibing or hanging out, you can obviously do this, and that's also a great way to make money as well. So into the outro of the video. All right, so yeah, this is the outro of the video, and I just want to say thanks for checking it out. This is sort of a culmination of a lot of the stuff that I've covered in Endwalker already, but I thought I would put in some new information. My back's feeling a lot better, so I can start cranking out videos again. So make sure you guys let me know what methods you like here. If you have any other moneymakers, feel free to share them. Our Discord is kind of becoming a bit of a place for people to just share like new and bespoke money-making methods. I've noticed a lot of them in there, so if you want to take part of that and really be on the ground floor for this stuff, feel free to join. We've gotten like hundreds of members over the past couple of weeks, which is just crazy. So yeah, feel free to join the Discord and hang out with us in there. We're all really friendly. And feel free to follow me on Twitch as well. So I'm going to be streaming regularly again. So go check me out on Twitch and there as well. All right, thanks for watching the video, and I'll see you guys with my next video soon.